So following the LA Lakers championship run, I'll call it that, is the in-season tournament championship. 80 had a really good game. I think he had like 41 points, and it's brought up the question, who is the best big in the NBA once again, because Anthony Davis, some people and some commentators, ESPN commentators and analyzers of the game have come out and said that when 80 wants to and when 80's healthy, he's the best big in the NBA. And I thought about this, and I don't remember who I saw it from, but I thought about that claim, and I was like, are we really at the point where we're still diminishing Jokic? Like, there's a real... I remember somebody gave me a comment on one of my old videos like 8 months ago, and he said it was a spiritual issue because people really just don't like Jokic. Like, it's like there's a reason. I don't know what the reason is or why, but there's like a real deep hatred for the guy. I don't know why people just can't seem to come to consensus with the way he plays the game of basketball. It's different, but he's overseas, and these overseas players are coming in and they know how to play the game. He knows how to play it effectively. He is number one in the league. He has the number one estimated impact rate in basketball right now at 21.5. My guy Jokic's stats are ridiculous. He's averaging 28 points per game. 28 points per game. He's also averaging 13 rebounds per game, 9.6 assists. That's almost a triple-double. Can he pull it off? Can he average the triple-double this year? I really want him to. That is ridiculous for a center to average a triple-double. He's like 0.4. Like, if you round, he's averaging a triple-double right now, and he's well into it. My guy he's shooting at 53.5% from the field, which is actually a drop. He's actually shooting at 53.5% from the field, 30% from three. These are both drops from where he was last year. But even at the same time, those being drops, my guy is still, like, that's ridiculous. Last year he was at 38% from the three-point percentage, and he was at about almost 60% from the field goal. That is, like, that being a drop and then it being that good, though, like 53% from the field. I remember when Steph went 50, 40, 90. Steph Curry, he's my favorite player. When he went 50, 40, 90, it was just ridiculous because he was shooting 50% from the field, 40% from the three, 90% from the free throw line. He was averaging a lot of points. So, like, when you look at the efficiency of players, it shows you, like, just like he doesn't need to shoot 25 shots and, you know, shoot at 43% from the field to score 30. He's at 28, 53% from the field. He's very concise with the amount of shots he shoots. He is just a guy that goes out there and really, like, you're just expecting him to do what he's going to do. He's going to shoot a shot. He might miss one, then he's going to make one. He's going to miss one. He's going to make one. He's going to always make the right play, always make the right read. He's going to get his teammates into it. He's going to play center. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to play point guard. He's going to get assists. He's going to play shooting guard. He's going to get points. He's doing everything you need him to. People say he's a liability on defense, but I have not seen that. He is a good player, and he's doing everything you would expect an MVP caliber player to do, yet we're still having conversations on who is the best center in the NBA. Who's the best big man in the NBA? I believe Joel Embiid has really proven himself into this race, right? Joel Embiid, 80, I'm not going to talk, like, I have 80 stats. 80's averaging 22.7 points per game, 12.7 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game. He's shooting at 53% from the field. He's shooting at 23% from three. 80 is not in this conversation. It's between Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid. Embiid is averaging 33.3 points per game. He's shooting at 51% from the field. He's averaging 11 rebounds, but only 3.6 assists to Jokic's 9.6. Jokic is just doing more on the basketball court. Embiid is averaging more points. He's more of a prolific scorer, but when I'm being honest and when I'm really looking at it, I would have to say that Jokic just has all around better stats, and he means more for his team. And who has a championship? Who doesn't have a championship? These are the real questions you gotta ask. Jokic has a chip, Embiid doesn't. That's just the truth. Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be, like, really, really honest, man. The only person that really, really, really makes me think is Giannis. Do I believe Giannis is better than Jokic? Well, Giannis is like Shaq. It's almost like when you're comparing Shaq to Tim Duncan. Honestly, I have no idea who's better between Shaq and Tim Duncan, so I don't know, like, how this compares. But Tim Duncan is just more of like a, like, okay, really comparing Shaq to any center ever. Like, Shaq is the most dominant player, like, probably to ever play the game of basketball. You cannot stop Shaq. With Giannis, he's kind of the same way. You give him the ball, he's just going to go to the paint. You cannot stop Giannis. But the idea is that what you want to do when you're weighing out who's better is you want to look at the on and off stats. You want to look at who's impacting their team more, who's, like, if you just look at all around stats, Giannis is averaging 30.5 points per game, 9.6 rebounds per game. Jokic is averaging nearly 4 rebounds more than Giannis right now. Jokic is also averaging 5 more assists than Giannis right now. Giannis is shooting it more efficiently from the field all around at 61.4. Jokic is shooting 53.5% for some reason this year. I believe Jokic will get it back up, but I mean, that's still not bad. But yeah, Giannis is beating Jokic from a field goal percentage, but then 3-point percentage, Jokic is beating Giannis by about 6%, but they're both not the best shooters. Nobody on this list between AD, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, none of these guys are 3-point shooters right now. And this is obviously my stats here. I honestly, I don't understand the conversation, because I believe, if you, when you watch Jokic, yeah, you might be able to say, oh, well, he's kind of a boring player, this and that. My brother he's not a stat patter. He puts up these stats. He's doing this, and he's been doing it for a really long time. I don't think you can look at Jokic right now and there could be any reason for you to demote him from the best center in the league, best big man in the league. There's nothing he's doing right now that, okay, his team, yada, yada, you might want to go back. But he is literally doing everything right now. And I don't get the idea of saying, oh, well, because AD came in, because Giannis, these guys are not, I don't want to take any of them down. I might want to take AD down a little bit, because AD should have been averaging about 40 points, especially playing with an old LeBron. But other than that, I don't want to take any of these guys down. Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic, they're all great players and all probably top 5 players in the NBA right now, maybe top 10. But at the end of the day, man, Jokic is just miles ahead of these guys within the stat department, within the on and off stats, within the fact that my guy just comes up to play basketball, and he knows how to play it in the most effective way. He doesn't have to go out there like Jordan dunking on everybody. He doesn't have to be the most athletic. He doesn't have to shoot the most threes like my boy Steph. He doesn't have to have the best dribbles like Kyrie. You don't have to get the most rebounds, even though he does. He doesn't have to get the most assists, even though he really does. All he does is he goes out there and he plays the game of basketball, and he's become the best at everything. There's he's not the best at really anything, but he's the best at everything. And he's not just kind of the best at everything to where in every department he might give you 7 assists, 7. No, he's excelling in every department. That is what I would consider a true juggernaut of the game of basketball. So when you're sitting here talking about conversations of who's the best big in the league, and you're not saying Nikola Jokic, then I ask you, what is Embiid doing that's so much better than what Jokic is doing? What is Giannis doing that is so much better than what Jokic is doing? What is AD doing that's so much better than what Jokic is doing? Jokic is doing everything in every category. And even though other Embiid is a better scorer, Giannis is a better scorer as well. But at the end of the day, these guys are not he's doing everything, and the things that they're excelling in over Jokic it's not enough to make up all of the things Jokic is just demolishing them in. He has a 21.5 impact, number 1 in the league, and that rate is the highest in the league. Yeah, number 1. I honestly Jokic is just one of those guys, you watch him and he's not the most appealing to the eye, but he knows how to play the game of basketball. And that's something I can respect, because within any craft in life, it doesn't have to just be basketball. When you have a craft and then you excel in it and you learn how to do it best, and you're doing it different than everybody else used to do it, there's going to be haters. And that's why it is really a real deep issue with the hate Jokic gets, because he just is hated for some reason. I've never seen a player be just this hated for no reason. People can't seem to like Jokic. Everybody wants to hate on Jokic. They don't like the fact that this guy has changed the game of basketball and excelling in it. But when you learn a craft and you learn how to change the way it is usually done, and you do it to a high extent, I can respect that, because that's his job. It's his work. He's not in the offseason he's playing around, messing around, having a good time in the offseason. He takes the basketball not as seriously as some other people, but he takes it seriously in the way that when he gets on the court, he takes the game seriously like it's an office job, versus people who take the game seriously, by just trying to make themselves the best. He doesn't really care about making himself the best. More so, he cares about making his team the best, or really he just cares about performing the act of playing basketball the best. How can he do that? He gets on the court and he does that. And I think that's his approach, and that's the energy he extends towards basketball. And it makes him great because this is his trade. Like, this is his, like, basketball is his job. And he's, like, got to a point where he is the best basketball player in the world, maybe. I think Steph is the best basketball player in the world, but I'm a Warriors fan, so I'm biased. But he's in the conversation. And he doesn't do it how the regular people do it. He's not like Giannis. He's not like KD. He's not like these other guys. But he's him. And he does everything on the court. And so I just don't think you have a real conversation. And that's my little rant. I'm done. I'll see y'all.